person finds $1 million hidden inside a bag. No witnesses, no cameras, no evidence. What happens next? Some people immediately imagine returning it. Others imagine keeping it. And that question reveals something uncomfortable about money. Money does not only buy things, it changes human behavior itself. For most of human history, survival depended on access to resources, food, shelter, protection, security, and in the modern world, money became the symbolic gateway to all of them. As a result, the human brain treats money as far more than paper or numbers. Psychologically, money often represents survival, power, status, freedom, control, safety. And because it connects to survival so deeply, money can influence human behavior in surprisingly powerful ways. Imagine two people entering the same grocery store. One checks every price carefully before buying. The other fills the cart without looking. The difference is not only financial, it is psychological. Financial pressure changes how the brain experiences reality itself. Researchers studying scarcity discovered something fascinating. When people experience constant financial stress, part of the mind becomes trapped in short-term survival thinking. The brain focuses intensely on immediate problems, urgent bills, short-term decisions. This is not laziness. It is cognitive overload. The mind under financial pressure behaves differently because survival becomes mentally consuming. Perhaps this is why poverty changes behavior so deeply. People often assume money only changes lifestyle, but it also changes attention, stress levels, decision-making, emotional stability, long-term thinking. A person constantly worried about survival cannot think the same way as someone living with stability. At the opposite extreme, wealth changes behavior too. Money creates psychological distance from certain fears. A wealthy person may experience less survival anxiety, greater flexibility, more freedom over time, different social environments, and over time, this can subtly change perception itself. There is an old psychological experiment involving a simple board game. Participants were randomly assigned wealth advantages: more money, more power, easier rules. Interestingly, many of the advantaged players gradually began behaving more aggressively and confidently, despite receiving their advantages randomly. The experiment revealed something important. Human beings often confuse privilege with personal superiority. Perhaps this explains why money can affect personality. Wealth sometimes increases confidence, sometimes generosity, sometimes arrogance, because money amplifies existing human tendencies rather than replacing them completely. Money also changes relationships. People often behave differently around wealthy individuals, successful people, high-status lifestyles, because humans naturally recognize money as symbolic power. Throughout history, resources influenced attraction, social status group, hierarchy influence, and those instincts still exist psychologically today. This is why conversations about money often become emotional quickly. Money is rarely just math. It connects to identity, insecurity, pride, fear, self-worth. A person earning more may feel powerful. A person struggling financially may feel ashamed, even though both are still human beings with equal emotional complexity. Modern society intensified this dramatically. Social media transformed wealth into public performance. People constantly see luxury lifestyles, expensive vacations, designer brands, visible success, and slowly, comparison becomes psychological background noise. A teenager opens social media before school. Within minutes, they see influencers traveling the world, luxury apartments, expensive cars, million-dollar businesses. The brain unconsciously compares itself to those images, and over time, many people begin feeling financially behind, even when living normal lives. Perhaps this is one of the deepest psychological effects of money in modern society. Money increasingly became connected to personal worth. People no longer simply want financial stability. They want proof that they matter, and wealth became symbolic proof of success, intelligence, importance, status. But money creates strange contradictions too. People spend years sacrificing health, relationships, peace of mind, chasing financial success, only to discover money alone cannot solve emotional emptiness. because money can reduce certain forms of suffering, but it cannot automatically create meaning, love, belonging, fulfillment. History repeatedly shows this paradox. Some wealthy individuals remain deeply unhappy. Some financially struggling individuals still experience joy, connection, and emotional richness. Because human well-being depends on more than financial numbers alone, still, money undeniably changes behavior. Studies repeatedly show that financial insecurity increases stress hormones, anxiety, emotional exhaustion, while financial stability often increases confidence, flexibility, future planning. Money changes how safely a person experiences life itself. This is why economic systems affect psychology deeply. A society experiencing inflation, instability, inequality, financial uncertainty often becomes more emotionally tense overall, because financial pressure spreads psychologically across millions of lives simultaneously. Perhaps this is why modern life feels exhausting for many people. The pressure is constant. Work harder, earn more, spend more, compete more. And beneath much of modern behavior exists one silent fear, the fear of financial insecurity. Money also changes morality under certain conditions. History shows ordinary people sometimes behave very differently when desperate, financially trapped, economically fearful. Not because humans are naturally evil, but because survival pressure changes decision-making psychologically. A comfortable person and a desperate person often think differently. Interestingly, human beings often judge money emotionally, while simultaneously depending on it completely. People say, money isn't everything. Yet many life decisions still revolve around it. Careers, relationships, location, status, security, because money functions almost like modern civilization's operating system, invisible, yet influencing nearly everything. But perhaps the strangest thing about money is this: it only works because human beings collectively believe in it. Paper itself has no natural value. Numbers inside bank accounts are not edible. Money functions through shared psychological trust. Civilization itself runs partly on collective belief. And that belief became powerful enough to shape human emotions, relationships, ambitions, fears, and identities globally. Perhaps this is why money remains one of the most powerful forces ever created. It can motivate greatness, inspire ambition, reduce suffering, create opportunity, but it can also increase greed, distort identity, damage relationships, create obsession. Money amplifies human nature itself. And maybe that is the deeper truth people slowly realize with age. Money is powerful, very powerful, but the human relationship with money may always be more psychological than financial. Because in the end, people are not only chasing money itself, they are chasing what they believe money will make them feel. Safe, respected, free, important, secure. Human emotions remain hidden beneath almost every financial decision ever made. So perhaps the real question is not whether money changes people. The real question is, what parts of human nature become stronger once money enters the picture? So let me ask you, do you think money reveals human nature or changes it completely? Let me know what you think below.